Hey guys, Coach Life back again with some more roller snakes. This is going to be the last episode of the season, so I'll get these uploaded and then the box set for season 2. I can start recording that. So we've got into the ice biome now. As you can see, it's pretty large and there's a lot of sleetwheat in here. So I think that's going to be one of our main food sources moving forward. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep running this anti-entropy thermonullifier. I'm going to dig this whole lot out, or most of it, and replace anything that isn't ice with ice tiles, and then basically turn it into a huge sleetwheat farm, naturally planted by our pips, of course. So we've got plenty of those to go around. So yeah, it makes sense to make work of them. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'll get that queued up off camera and get it started, and cut back in when it's well underway. So they're gradually getting this done. As you can see, it's now being turned into strips of ice. Using the ice from this biome, obviously. I could have just flooded it and waited for the anti-entropy thermonullifier to cool it, but it takes a while like that, and this is way quicker. So down here we've now started to use this salt water geyser to supply our electrolyzer setup. We've got 3 full tanks of hydrogen spare. We've got about 400 kilos per tile of hydrogen, 1500 kilos per tile of oxygen stored up, and 8.6 kilos per tile of natural gas stored up. Obviously this is activated when the pressure is below 2 kilos, or goes green when it's below 2 kilos, which stops it because it activates on a red signal. What else we got? So yeah, that's going all right. I think we're all pretty well sorted up here. I'm just going to copy the settings from these to our, so that all our roller snake eggs are shipped down to our incubators. We've got a few roller snakes in there. Obviously I haven't bothered putting water in there because they don't die, so I just wrangle them up every so often and they either get shifted into the ranches or over to there. They should be auto wrangled, but they don't seem to be doing it, so well, we'll see. So yeah, this is a pretty extensive ice biome from the looks of it, so it should make a pretty decent sleetwheat farm. All we've got to do now is wrangle up some pips and get them up there to start planting. So I'll get that started. What have we got up here? Wow, we've got a lot of pips up here. So I think we'll capture that lot and send all the overflow up to here. Get them started. I'm not going to bother putting ladder segments down. I'm just going to let them plant them themselves. It won't be quite as efficient, but it should work all right. Oh, we've got a pause, so that means we've got a dodgy mod. So it might be reloading fairly shortly. We'll wait and see. That's the trouble with modded playthroughs. You're always going to get the odd one where, you know, it's causes an issue. Now, has nobody got toggling as priority? They should all have toggling at very high, so someone needs to come and do this security door. If you're not going to do it, then I shall just deconstruct it. This stuff hasn't got any atmospheric pressure because it was venting to space, so I've scheduled in some drywall to go in there when they eventually reach that area. Right, so I'll let them carry on with this. So it's gradually getting done, as you can see. If I zoom out and show you the planting, you can see all of these green harvest logos are sleet wheat. So they're gradually getting them installed. Unfortunately, we've had the odd pip death up here, but I think that's just due to age. I don't think that was anything significant. They think they can live down here to this temperature. Where does it show on the... Yeah, -30, so it might be a little bit chilly for them. I'll make sure I set this to -30, and then it won't get any colder. That will just warm it up just a little bit in there. Some areas are a little bit warmer. Yeah, they're sort of -26 over here, so they should be okay. They should be able to warm up. That's what their body temperature's running at. Yeah, -7, so they're okay at the moment. But yeah, it's just a question of just waiting for it all to get done. I've left the wort seeds in, and they've replanted some that they've come across, so that will help with the cooling and making sure it doesn't melt. Because as we start using this area a lot more to get through to the space biome, then it is going to warm up slightly, but hopefully with it being right by the anti-entropy thermonullifier, we should be able to keep it cooled down enough. In fact, I'm going to run a ladder up there actually and just deconstruct that tile so that they can get into there. They keep getting trapped, obviously. Yeah, like this one here. I mean, what can you do, really? Yeah, they're not terribly bright dupes, as I'm sure you know. Oh, minor coughing fit there. So yeah, just a question of time, really. So that train went past at the back. Fortunately, it's too warm in here not to have the windows open today. So we'll queue a little bit more up across here. Oops. I'm not going to replace the abyssalite, but I will dig through any areas that block the too high room. And eventually I'll put in ladders so that they can navigate up and down more easily over here. But I'll let the pips do their job first. So give them a bit more time. Well, they're getting things done up top, but we seem to have a bit of a roller snake infestation problem. Now, you might remember back in episode 1 I did mention that these things, once they get going, you can get kind of overrun with them. Well, that appears to have happened here. And I now have roller snakes everywhere. And I'm desperately trying to round them up and, yeah, deal with them at my butcher station. Yes, it's a little nuts. I'm just going to set this on emergency as well, because if I don't get rid of them, then this is one of the problems where you can't kill them when they hatch because you can't drown them. it's a bit of a problem. And if I try and just kill them all, they just, because it's set at priority 5, they don't seem to want to kill them in a hurry. So the only way to do it is to emergency priority the wrangling and redistribution of them, and same on the butcher station, and that seems to get it done. But oh my word, it's just crazy how I ended up with them all. I think when I changed the floor here, what I did was there was a hollow here where the eggs were sitting in, so I built it up so that all the eggs moved into there. When I deconstructed it, I think some of them must have been entombed, and they all just dropped down here and ran wild. Yeah, bit of a pain. I put some airflow tiles in here to try and improve the carbon dioxide flow down from up here. Of course, what I actually did was allow all the steam out. So, yeah, that wasn't very successful. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to put the airflow tiles in this corner, and that will hopefully let everything flow down here, which I will then deal with some carbon skimmers down the bottom. Obviously, I do need to still keep carbon dioxide in here so that the snakes don't stifle their scale growth, which seems to be okay at the moment. So up the top we have the Sleetwheat farm, which is going pretty well. I have to keep every so often just just getting a bit laggy now. I've had a couple of crashes during this. I think some of the mods have updated, and I think that's caused problems with the other mods, which is a bit of a pain. I'm going to set these trees to harvest as well. And I've also set up a cooling system for the oxygen. So the oxygen now is cooled by some thermoelectric generators, taking it up here at a much more acceptable temperature, because the base was starting to get a little toasty. So hopefully this will help deal with it now. Normally I did just set up an aquatuner setup and run a cooling loop, but I think we'll try this method and see if this works. If it doesn't, then that will be our next port of call. Oh, we've got some dupe pea. Better mop that up before it ends up in our water supply. I better put these back on priority 9 now, because it's obviously not really dealt with the situation, and now I'm getting dupes peeing themselves. Oh god, what a nightmare. So yeah, not a wildly successful episode so far. I have started to move up into the space biome. Got them digging some stuff out here. I'm going to deconstruct these tiles here and get them digged to the right as well. So we'll just go 3 tiles up and just get them to dig all the way across. We're going to have some regolith fall there, I think. Can't be avoided. Yeah, that was in... No, that actually was fine. I've had a few random build all the way across the entire map at the save game as well, a couple of times. Right, so let's put some carbon skimmers in down here. What have we got water-wise? Right, so we've got this is currently feeding the thermoelectric generators, not very successfully from the looks of it. So I might need to change this pipe to something a bit more conductive. Probably could do with refining some aluminium, but for now we'll just use radiant pipe made out of iron, I think. And Well, these are hydrogen generators, so that's not going to work, is it? Yeah, okay. We'll just leave it then. It's fine. They'll just soak up the heat from those, and that's fine. Let me see. I'm just trying to think what. I think over here might be the best place for some. Water have we got? We've got an excellent water filtration system, so I guess really the best bet is to put them there, take the clean water, and then just drop it back into the bottom, because this system filters out all the different combinations of water that we can have. So we seem to have a surplus there. So I'm thinking, right, oxygen, carbon skimmers, and we'll make them out of steel, I think. That way they won't suffer any from the... We'll put a couple there and a couple up here, I think. Feed them from the 2 water supplies, which will be these. And then we'll just spill it all back down into the bottom. There's no need to overcomplicate it any. I think that gets a clear run, doesn't it? Yeah. So that should just spill it down into the bottom, and then this pump here can feed in there. Now, obviously this is spilling over into here, any excess, so it doesn't really matter which side the pumps take it from, because if it doesn't take it from here, then it will spill over into here and keep this side topped up for as long as that is actually running. So yeah, I think that'll work. Power wise, we can just feed it off the heavy watt. No need to again overcomplicate it. And that's staying nice and cold with those. So they're taking all the heat out of this area. In fact, I could probably disable these 3 here and just focus on these 3. Because if these 3 cool it down too much, then these 3 won't do enough cooling of the... So let's just disable these 3 and see how we get on. So I don't think they're actually necessary. This, I'm going to disable this. I'm going to put some automation on here to disable this when the liquid level gets to this point. So we've got automation, hydro sensor. The only refined metal I've got at the moment is iron and steel, so I'm just using that. I haven't set up any refineries yet, well, other than the iron refinery. So that's all we've got. So we could start refining some of that aluminium. That would be good. We've got some wolframite now from the ice biome at the top, so that will be good. We'll get some thermium out of that. Just going to mop up some of this. We've got some bleach stone over here that's excuse me while the train goes past again. So it's a little bit noisy here. Hoping to move house at some stage, so it'll be a much quieter location. Unfortunately, with the COVID lockdown, that's out of the question at the moment, unfortunately. Sweep up this meat up here. Dig that bit of snow out. Probably need to put a mechanised airlock in here just to deal with the loss of pressure, because obviously this is a vacuum up here. If we lose too much oxygen from up here, then all our sleep will be stifled. So I think that's definitely going to be a thing. Need to do that. I'm going to just replace this abyssalite here, because obviously the heat from this is going to radiate up into here and start melting the ice, and I don't want that to happen. So we'll deal with that. I could go a bit further along now. So all these snowfalls keep blocking the way, but then that's because I've only made it too high to get as much sleet wheat in as possible. I think if we can keep this above -30, then we won't kill off all the pips. So obviously I've been trees have been going for a while now, so we built up quite a lot of lumber. So 432 tons of lumber. So that will be changed over at some stage. I'm going to dig up the rest of these briar seeds. It's a little too warm for them now. Anything in the printer that we might want? Supplying early bird mouth breather sparkle streaker. Ashcan, you're welcome to dupe number 16. Priorities. Right, so that's fine for you. Tidying and storing. Your skill point will be going into carrying. Lindsay, we can start getting you your exosuit now. Stinky, you can have your second critter ranching point. Yep, that's good. So critter ranching 2 for you, critter ranching 2 for you. Obviously critter ranching is the main thing I've needed up until now. Just because we've got so many of these roller snakes, and yeah, it's just nuts. I wonder if I can assassinate some of them. We can always do the barbecue, because I think all the stables are completely stocked. Yeah, they are. So once you start automating them, it just goes nuts. And if you can't kill them by normal methods, which is drowning, it's a lot harder to control the population. And of course, once they get in here, they just breed, die, breed, die, breed, die, breed, die, and you never reduce the population. Yeah, the butcher station's really... What errand does the butcher station come under? Is it a cooking errand? Is it a ranching errand? Yeah, it's ranching. So you think they'd be... I'm going to drop that down to 0%. Oh, we're getting some killed off now anyway, yeah. I wonder if we need to do that on there. Yeah, I mean, we'd probably have loads of barbecue by now if it wasn't for the fact that they're not getting killed off. Obviously, we've got all our cactus flowers and stuff now. Once I get some lettuce, I can make cactus salad, which apparently is cooked in the... or flower salad, there we go. Which apparently is cooked in the gas range. I'm not sure quite how you need to cook a salad, but there you go. Right, we can queue up some more research as well now. Let's sort that out. I've researched all of the decor items now. I'm going to do the home luxuries next. Yep, definitely that's the one to go for now, I think. And then we'll start working on petroleum and getting ourselves some more plastic for transit tubes, which I think would be a good move. How are we doing down here on the carbon skimmers? Are they getting enough water supply? Apparently not. Yeah. Problem is, these only deliver 500, so I think I'm going to have to up the... I'm going to have to build another water sieve and desalinator. I'm going to have to cancel that and put the next one at a slightly higher level, because the pipes on that, yeah, that will work. So we've got this one comes through here. I think we'll just take a feed out of here as well, and then insulated pipe into there, and then we'll just feed that up into there as well. Hopefully that should work. Of course we will need to power both of them. I could have just kept that on the same level and rerouted all the plumbing, but that would have interrupted the supply. I could have worked around it, but for the sake of just placing the mesh tiles one tile higher, it really isn't an issue. We've got roller snakes down here as well now. You killed all those off yet? No, it's just loads of them. Crazy. Absolutely nuts. But at least these carbon skimmers are running, so that will drop the level of carbon dioxide down a bit. And then we can deal with the chlorine. I think what we will do is we'll dig out this section that's not needed. Leave the section of wall in, obviously. So yeah, that's pretty much got the base and the food and everything else established for the end of this season. Next season, obviously, we will concentrate on space and sorting out the rest of the biomes. We're nowhere near 80% so far. We've got obviously some more oil to exploit, some more desert biome over here, some more fossil, so that we can work. I think we've got quite a bit of lime because we haven't been refining any steel. We have, yeah, we've got 4.2 tons of lime. So when we start refining steel, we've got plenty of materials to do it. All the steel we've had so far has been coming from our tough roller snakes. So we haven't had to actually refine anything so far. So next series we will start working on all of the space and getting that sorted out, and start worrying about what we're going to do with all this magma down here and interesting things. So I hope you've enjoyed the first series. It's interesting getting to grips with all these mods now. Yeah, it's a little bit different, you know, lots of different problems occurring, you know, trying to get these snakes working properly, dealing with the new food types, the fact that the oil is spread out around the whole map in these different biomes. You see, we've got more oil wells over here, more iron ore. All of that needs to be cored out, and we need to start utilising it. At the moment, I feel that we've sort of got to grips with the thermoelectric generation. That's been pretty effective at both generating power and cooling. So at the moment, the old coal generators really aren't getting much use. It's all coming off the hydrogen and the thermoelectric. In fact, I think I'm probably going to just delete these coal generators because I really don't think we need them anymore. They were there as a backup. No, I tell you what, I won't deconstruct them. I'll just disable them. Oh, too late. Just, yeah, let's get rid of them. Because I can always put in some more hydrogen generators. We've got plenty of hydrogen stored up. And I think they're just running because they've got excess hydrogen. Let's have a look. No, they are actually being utilised at the moment. All the excess hydrogen's going up there. But I haven't... I did ought to put on a hydrogen sensor on there and just power these up if it gets backed up. Because if it does get backed up, it's all going to feed it into the oxygen system. And that's not good. Now, we have no water getting there at all. So, this is one of the problems when you're using multiple... so I think what I need to do is put on a liquid bridge on there, and we'll do this as a very high priority because we're losing our oxygen production. So it'll come out of this one now, but it won't come through this one. It'll think the pipe is blocked, I believe. Oh no, it just requires emptying, but what are we doing on that one? But if we put the liquid bridge on there, it will ensure that this works properly. Because both of them will feed into an input, and then that will output there. The trouble is, if you've got lots of inputs on the same pipe, it all gets a bit confused as to what it's supposed to be doing. I think these were taken out. Pure water and crude oil, yeah. So the pure water goes straight into the system. Anything else gets fed through here, through the salt water and polluted water cleaning system, and then into the oxygen production. Unless they empty this desalinator. Who's on high priority tie? Oh, they're all... Yeah, I suppose I better put you up. Put you up on... no, not you, Lindsay. Just Ash can. He can go on high priority. On tidying, I think. Right, once we get a full pipe going through there from the 2... 9 should start filling up. Once these are full, then it will start feeding a full pipe up to the electrolyzers. Then that will back up, and then it will feed the excess to the carbon skimmers above. I hope. There we go. So that's good. I mean, that's brought most of that. That's dealt with most of that carbon dioxide already. Just got to let the rest of this fall down there now. It's falling down from there. We've got a couple of airflow tiles there to help. Ah, they've got water on them. That won't allow any airflow. So we'll mop that up. What have we got in here? I'm just going to take the copper ore for now. We've got 16 dupes. I think that's plenty for now. And season 2, we will work on the expansion. So I hope you've enjoyed the first series. Let me know your comments, what your thoughts are so far. And season 2 will come fairly shortly. Thanks, guys. Keep safe. Enjoy your week. And I will see you soon. Coach Life out.